Alright, so let's start from the beginning. Your brother mentioned you have been hallucinating about the savior, is it?
It wasn't a hallucination. I was literally watching my handiwork when my computer suddenly went static and a poster of the G-Savior showed up on my screen and started talking to me. I checked the computer for viruses and there weren't any. It was a full-on conversation.
Right. Well, let's talk about something else. Your brother mentioned you have a review series?
Yeah, like I post videos on the internet, mostly review Mecha shows, though sometimes I do other stuff.
Really? Can you tell me how that goes?
Well...
それでも言いたいこの僕に何ができるって言うんだ窮屈な変地に立たされた時不難な僕の腕をつかみ自分自身のありかが初めて見えたんだもっと広いフィールドへもっと深い大きなどこかへ予測もつかない世界へ向かってゆくだけ
Hello and welcome to Mecha Anime Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at Daitarn 3. Much like Zambot 3, it was directed by Yoshiyuki Tomino himself. You see, as a rule, he tends to make lighter shows after darker ones, and this is no exception. Zambot 3 was a dark show with brutality, death, destruction, and human bombs. Daitarn 3 is, well, about as far away from that as you can imagine. Anyway, what's the story? The Meganoids have come from the planet of Mars, planning on forcefully transforming the entire human population into cyborgs like themselves. They do this out of the belief that they are the superior species, and thus think that this process will improve the human race. However, standing against the Meganoids is Banjo Haran, who, along with his two assistants, Reiko Sanjo and Beauty Tachibana, and also with his trusty butler Garrison and kid sidekick Topo, pilots the mighty Daitarn 3 to protect humanity and save the world. For mankind, for the world, Daitarn 3 will smash the ambitions of the Meganoids. If you don't fear the shine of the sun, then bring it on. The animation is pretty decent. It's okay, if a bit inconsistent. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it sucks. The music is pretty good, very quirky and fitting with the style and the tone of the series well, with a few memorable tracks. The voice acting is good too. Hirotaka Suzuki makes his first role as Banjo and does an excellent job of portraying him, capturing his badass personality well while giving him a bit of an edge. The rest of the cast do solid work as well, with most of the actors going on to do roles in the original Gundam. First, the good stuff. Much like how the Big O takes a lot of inspiration from the Batman mythos, Daitarn 3 takes a lot of inspiration from the James Bond films, albeit in a more comedic fashion, from the way it portrays its characters to some of the plots of the episodes. Banjo is pretty much Sean Connery James Bond, a smooth, confident womanizer with a certain amount of ruthlessness that makes him dangerous yet fascinating. The villains are very, very different from a lot of mecha shows at the time, in how they're given very unique and eccentric personalities, which makes for some interesting as well as funny interactions with Banjo. Speaking of which, the comedy of the series is actually pretty good. There's a lot of funny moments throughout the series, the jokes working really well. It helps that the show doesn't take itself too seriously, which means it gets to flow a lot smoother than most of other Tomino's shows. The show follows a Monster of the Week format, but it actually does it well with a variety of villains and situations to overcome. The designs for the Meganoids themselves, while not as creative as the designs for the Mecha Boosts, are still pretty unique, and the battles Banjo engages, both on foot and in his mecha, tend to be badass action sequences. However, there are some problems. The mecha battles and the plots can get a bit repetitive. Like most shows from the 70s, there's quite a lot of goofiness here too, but given the nature of the show, it actually benefits the series rather than hamper it. While Banjo and the villains are pretty fun to watch, the rest of the supporting cast aren't. While Garrison is a pretty cool character, Beauty and Reiko are rather bland, with little to no personality. They mainly exist so that they can get caught by the bad guys or participate in a gag. Other than that, they're just plain love interests. The main reason they aren't my least favorite characters is because Topo is my most hated character in the show. He's so god-awfully annoying, barely contributing anything to the plot, hampering Banjo's efforts to fight the Meganoids, and generally not being funny. At least Beauty and Reiko actually help at points. Topo just gets in the way. Also, the ending is just odd. I mean, it's not a bad ending or anything, but it stands out in contrast with the rest of the series. It's a weird way to end the show. In spite of these issues, Daitarn 3 is awesome. It might just be one of my favorite mecha shows, with its excellent comedy, likable characters, and being plain awesome. Oh well, see you next time on the next Mecha Anime Reviews. And that's pretty much what I do.
Alright, last question for the day. What happened with the Victory Gundam review?
Huh?
Your brother mentioned it being a sore point for you. I want to know what happened there.
Well, I guess I can tell you. I finished watching Victory Gundam. I didn't like it. I hated it even. I thought it was literally the worst thing to come out of the Universal Central. I wrote the review without checking information properly and getting various details wrong. It was an act of hubris, and when everyone pointed out how bad the video was, I lashed out against everyone until someone made me realize how stupid I was acting. It was a horrible mistake, and even now it still haunts me. Is there something wrong?
Well, a friend of mine was walking near a baseball field and he got attacked by some random asshole. And when I got there, he was dead.
I'm sorry for what happened.
Oh, it's alright.